And something new happens here. He has a collection of 400 people joining him. Amongst them, his Ima and his Abba. Amongst them, his brothers. And even says Beit Aviv, the house of his father. So Chazal say that Yishai, okay? Yishai is there as well. Yishai is the grandson of Ruth. David is the great-grandson. And we asked ourselves, why are they coming and collecting together? And it could be that word is out. David is in danger. If David is in danger, maybe they suspect that they're in danger as well. And it's not safe, the parents, the family of Yishai, it's not safe for them to be where they are in Yehuda. Less from Binyamin area, Shaul is out maybe to do damage to him as well. And here we see what type of people gather together with David. Very interesting. People that they too have a certain danger, whether it's physical, spiritual, religious, or economic problems. So it's interesting that this number 400 appears. We see the number 400. Esav came with 400 men. We see the number 400 in a few other places. It apparently is a unit that is significant in number. Then now we're seeing that David maybe is like a leader of a large group, 400 people. It's not the nation, it's not a tribe. But right now we see some rays. In the shady day of the danger of David, we see some rays of kingdom. He has like what we call a mamlacha ktana. He has a small kingdom, as some of the commentaries explain. Okay? And notice, he didn't go out to get them, but they're all congregating to him. Why do you think they're coming to him? Why is he attractive? He's well known. He's won wars. He's deep in faith. He's trustworthy. He is humble. He has all these great character traits. And now, of all things, where does he go? Pasuk Gimel of chapter 22. Vayelach David Misham. He leaves the area. It could be that in the caves there are there are ears to the walls, and maybe it's not safe. Notice where he goes to. Mitzpeh Moav. He has this vantage point of a viewpoint there. And now he contacts the king of Moab. So David is acting like on a royal level. Vayomer Melech Moab Yetzena Avivi Imi Itchem. Okay? Look, I'm going to be moving. I'm going to be on the move. Can my parents leave with you? Until God will tell me what's going on in my life. Right now I'm in danger. I can't have my parents with me. We asked the question, why go there? You all answered, because David's roots come from Moab. Great-grandmother Ruth HaMoaviyah from Moab. What is the response of the king? Again, in chapter 22, Pasuk Dalet, verse 4. Vayanchem et penei melech Moav. Vayishvu imo kol yemei hayot David b'mitzuda. On the one hand, David is not in the city or the country of Moab. He's in a fortress in the area of Moab called the Mitzuda. A Mitzuda is a fortress. And his parents are left with the king. He's hoping that they will watch over his parents. So this is a very precarious situation. We don't know Moab to be a treaty member of the Jewish people right now. Yet David, in his thought, has trust that the situation will be okay, at least for his parents, and he'll go elsewhere.
So he crossed the Jordan.
He crossed the Jordan, absolutely. He's in the area of Moab. He has his own fortress, apparently issued to him by the king of Moab, even though the Tanakh doesn't state so. We may assume so. And they, the parents, are with the king. Kol yemei hayot David b'Moav. B'Mitzuda. Notice, as long as David is in the Mitzuda, in the fortress, the parents are okay in the city of Moab. What will you infer from this? That once David leaves the fortress, his parents might be endangered. And this is exactly what Chazal tell us. Once he leaves the fortress, we're about to read in verse 5, his parents are killed.
How come we didn't have prophecy on this issue?
Good question. David right now is in a dark time, a very sad time, running away. But you know who sees that he can't continue being there? He's approached by Gad HaNavi. Some of you know that there are 3 contributing authors of prophecy to the Sefer. And they are Shmuel, Gad, and Natan. 3 contributing prophets that are writing the events that Hashem wants to be prophetically written here. And now we're going to read about Gad HaNavi. But what's important is God apparently gets prophecy that David cannot remain. Look what he says. Vayomer Gad HaNavi el David, lo teshev b'mitzuda. You can't remain here. You can't dwell here. Lech, uvata lecha eretz Yehuda. Seems to be the natural place, isn't it? Go to the land of Yehuda. Cross the Jordan back. Come back. And go into the Judean region. It doesn't say why, but maybe you and I can think that maybe it's dangerous. You should be in Eretz Yisrael. Don't you think that David knows himself that he should be in Eretz Yisrael? But apparently, look, it's a very hard time to think and to calculate what has to be done, what shouldn't be done. But right now, David is hanging out there. His parents are safe. And now, he's ordered, basically by the prophet, that he cannot remain there. What does he do? Vayelech David vayavo yar charet. He goes to some sort of forest, apparently in the Judean area. I don't know where it is. And maybe in the forest he could be hiding out. And some say charet is like the word with a samech, cheres. What is cheres?
Poison?
No, that's eres. What is cheres? Cheres are porcelain or clay kelim, something very dry. There's a midrash that says you've arrived to the forest of dryness, meaning this place is dry. There's like no hope here. There's no food here. There's no water here. The Tanakh, in one word, is sharing with us what is the mental and physical situation of David. Situation is very hard, very difficult. His life endangered. There's a few hundred people with him, but who knows what will be tomorrow. And we'll see some Tehillim in a moment that'll help explain what's going on mentally with him, spiritually with him. Now, what happens on the other side of the arena, in the area of Binyamin? Pasuk Vav, verse 6. Vayishma Shaul, ki noda David, v'anashim asher ito. Shaul has information. Shaul has intelligence. He has squealers. He has people informing. And what is he informed? Where David is. Ki noda David, Pasuk Vav. V'anashim asher, and Shaul knows as well that there's a group of people with him. Right? Now where is Shaul physically? V'Shaul yoshev b'giv'ah tachat ha'eshel barama. Ramah, Ramot, Givat, the area of Shmuel. Shaul is in Ramah next to apparently Shmuel. And he's sitting on a hill. We would call this Givat probably Givat Shaul. Okay, but it's in the area of Ramah. And he has an eshel there. What is an eshel? We met with this word, right. We met with the term where? In Bereshit. Quote, Vayita eshel bever shava. And he planted the eshel in the city of Beersheba. Oh, so there's a play on word on eshel that this gentleman is saying. Aleph, Shin, Lamed. How do you spell it?
Aleph, Shin, Lamed.
There you go. Aleph is achila. Shin is shtia. And Lamed is lina. Eating, drinking, and lodging. A motel. That's regarding Avram Avinu. Midrash says. Rashi brings that Midrash there in the book of Bereshit. But here there's an eshel. and he's in the shade right now.
What's a tamarisk tree?
I don't know.
It's like B&B, but color shit.
Thank you. And look what it's important what the Tanakh is saying. What's in Shaul's hand? V'chanito biyado, v'chol avadav nitzavim alav. His advisors are there. It's close to the palace, and he means business because in his hand he has a chanit. He has his spear. And notice how he talks and with whom he talks. Pasuk Zayin, verse 7. Vayomer Shola avadav anitzavim alav. He's speaking to his advisors that are standing by him. Shimuna b'nei yemini. He's talking tough. He's about to give musar. He's about to ridicule his advisors, who no more or no less, of course, are from which tribe? Binyamin, b'nei yemini. Sounds logical, because Shaul is from Binyamin. And now he comes down on them. Gam lechulchem yiten ben yishai sadot uchramim. Lechulchem yasim sarei alafim v'sarei meod. Even if, and he calls not David his name, but rather he calls him a name which is not with respect, the son of Yishai. Even if he would be providing you fields and vineyards and make you high ministers, sarei alafim v'sarei meod, I'm accusing all of you of the following. Chet. Ki. What did you guys do to me? You did to me what? What do we call it? Treason? Not treason. Hey, what's that famous word that you rebel? You mutiny. Wow. Your English is really good. Thank you. Mutiny. Isn't that a good word?
Piracy.
Conspiracy. Right. The word in the Tanakh for mutiny, conspiracy is the second word in Pasuk Chet. Kishartem. I know kesher means a connect, a knot, a tie, but you're connecting together to rebel against me. Ki kishartem kulchem alai. All of you. He's accusing his own advisors. Keshet. That's right, without the resh. Ki kishartem kulchem alai. All of you have basically committed a national violation against me. Vengolet ozni. None of you revealed to me. Bichrot b'ni and ben Yishai. No one of you knew. You all probably knew about it, he's saying. You knew about the treaty between who? My son. Doesn't bother mentioning his name. We know he's talking. No one is sick enough to be painful enough to come to me.
No one is like distressed by my situation.
Right, no one is distressed. Beautiful, thank you very much. Because of me. Because of that you would have revealed to me. Look at this accusation. Who is he finding fault? Hekim beni, my son established what? That my servant, which is David, Allah is against me. Le'orev, to conspire. Kayom hazeh. Wow. Gentlemen, here in the city of Ramah, in Givat Shaul, next to the capital palace of Shaul, he now comes down hard after he hears that David has made a covenant with Yonatan, and David is left, and he has hundreds of men with him. He holds his own men responsible. You should have known what's going on inside the palace. That's what he says. Is he right or not? We don't know. Certainly he could be going overboard, exaggerating, and causing a lot of trouble here. We don't see any answer but the following person. Only one of his advisors makes a claim. Pasuk Tet. And here he is, Mr. Troublemaker. Vayan doeg ha'adomi. Right? We met with him once. He's the one that brought David to go play music to make Shaul happy during his time of distress. But maybe behind that was to cause a problem where two anointed leaders are going to meet together. And now he says the following. Vayan doeg ha'adomi. What's his position? V'unitzav al avdeisha. What is the word al here playing? What role? Meaning?
He's commanding over.
He's commanded over all the advisors. He's on top of all my advisors. But the Tanakh is telling this as a narrative. And he's about to speak, and he's above all the other advisors. Vayomar, and he says, Ra'iti et ben Yishai. He too doesn't bother giving David his name of respect. I saw, meaning out of zilzul, out of belittling him, I saw my what? I saw Ben Yishai, Ba Nove. He came to the town of Nov, El Achimelech ben Achituv, which we more or less think he's like the acting Kohen Gadol. He went to the Mishkan area. Vayish'alo Badunai, V'tzeida natan lo, V'tcherev Goyara Plishti natan lo. What does Doeg reveal?
That he got the sword from.
Notice what he first says. Three matters is he sharing now with Shaul. Notice though the order. Vayish'alo b'Hashem. David came to Nov, came to the Kohen Gadol, and you know what was activated there at the Mishkan? That secret technique of communication to God called the Urim V'Tumim was activated. And who provided it to him? Natanlo. It says Natanlo. He gave it to him. Gentlemen, is this correct or not?
No.
What's not correct?
He didn't give him it, right?
What do you mean? We saw the ephod, and Chazal interpreted that they used the ephod, meaning the Urim V'Tumim.
But I thought.
You're thinking that David initiated it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here it says that he gave it to him. So maybe this is a lie. Number two, what else? What else is a problem here? When we read about the matter of David, what was he most in need of? Food. And then second? A weapon. And then we learned at the ephod that he asked a question, and we thought, as we explained, that it was used as a misva'ah. It was used like camouflage. That, Achimelech shouldn't think there's a problem here. And, I'm asking God, let me get a bracha in this secret mission I'm going on. How does Doeg tell the facts? How does Doeg tell the facts?
Like he was helping him.
Like he was
Like if the Kohanim were
accomplice.
against him.
That exactly.
Aiding in a rebellion.
Oh, the first and foremost thing that David needed, provided by Achimelech, is a question to God. Now, is it true? Was that the first and foremost? Because it's listed here as number one. What do you think David wants Shaul to understand? I'm sorry, what does Doeg want Shaul to understand? Exactly what you said. That the king, the Kohen, is an accomplice, collaborating with David.
How does David HaMelech handle all this? First, all his family gets wiped out. Now all the Kohanim is on his head.
And you thought you had a hard life. You're on easy street compared to what David is going through.
How does he handle stuff?
We're gonna go continue studying this, gentleman.
Maybe that's what put him in the psych ward when he went to Achish. He wasn't really crazy. He just pretended to be.
Gentlemen,
that wouldn't make anyone crazy,
right now, we're going to open up today. I hope we'll still have time. Open up Tehillim and read what's going on in the heart of Doeg Adumi. Gentlemen, is this or not proper what Doeg is doing? This is Lashon Hara. This is Lashon Hara at its most, and maybe even there could be sheker, a lie here, because the way he's painting the picture is that Achimelech offered godly matters. Now, when we learn about Urim V'Tumim, we learn only national matters can be approached to the Urim V'Tumim. Only someone who's like a king-like figure can go to the Kohen Gadol and get questions answered through the Urim V'Tumim. The way Doeg is painting the picture, it's equivalent that David is acting like a king. So all of this is severe lashon hara. Doeg is sharp. Doeg has a sharp tongue, and we'll see excerpts in Tehillim about people that have sharp tongues and speak lashon hara and what damage it can do.
What did David actually do? I'm confused.
David is right now in a pikuach nefesh situation. He hasn't eaten 3 days. We understood.
Because he left Shaul.
He left Shaul because Yonatan has found out that his father wants to kill him. They met secretly in the field after 3 days of David hiding out and waiting to see the reaction of Yonatan's father. And now he left. He hasn't eaten in 3 days apparently. Doesn't say that, but we can assume. He's very hungry. He shows up at the Mishkan area alone. The Kohen Gadol is trembling. What is David doing here alone? He always has an entourage. He has, an Audi 5 in front of him, an Audi 5 in back of him, and 2 Jeeps to his side. That's how he goes around, right? And I'm on a secret mission for the king. He makes up a story. He doesn't even want to share the truth that I'm a fugitive, unlawfully being run after by the king. He doesn't want to say that. He doesn't want to involve him. But who's there praying to God as if we're doing sacrifices? Doeg. But he's a mischief person, we see here. He's a no good mischief person. And he tells lashon hara to the king. And he's leading the king to understand, without saying it clearly, that Achimelech is an accomplice to David against you. That's what it says here. It's clearly that he asked national questions, and he gave him this, and he gave him that. Look at the king. Look what Shmuel understands. He's acting like a king in verse 11. Vayishlach hamelech. He calls him a king. He sends a messenger. Likro et Achimelech ben Achituv HaKohen. You're right that he's not called here Kohen Gadol, just a Kohen.
I just looked it up that confidence in Dvarim Hayamin.
Divrei Hayamim, right. And what did you see there?
It mentions his father, Achituv,
Right.
and then his next son,
Evyat Tzadok Kohen. They become Kohen Gadol. Right.
I assume it's
Yes.
to Gadol.
They become Kohen Gadol.
So Achimelech is not Tzadok, it's different.
That's right. He's not him. That's correct. He's going to be killed here, unfortunately. So he calls, the king asks in immediate order to call Achimelech ben Achituv HaKohen, but not only him. V'tkol Beit Aviv HaKohenim, whoever's in his house there, his uncles, his fathers, grandfathers, Asher Benov. Vayavo chulam el HaMelech. You can imagine, the wagon, the transportation, they're all brought. They all come by themselves, because the king is calling him, right? Vayomer Shaul, Shmana ben Achituv. He doesn't even bother calling him his first name. He calls him the son of Achituv. Vayomer, what's the matter? Hineni adoni, I'm ready. What do you need, my master? He doesn't even know what he's doing wrong. Pasuk Yud Gimel. Vayomer lev Shaul, lama kishartem alai? Why did you commit mutiny against me? Ata uven Yishai, you and Ben Yishai together. B'titcha lo lechem v'cherev v'sholeh b'Elohim. He now transfers the order. You gave him bread. You gave him a sword. You helped him ask, through God. I know what you asked of God. How do you do the conspiracy against me? Kayom hazeh. What is kayom hazeh? Huh? Like today. This is fresh news. Pasuk Yudaled Vayan Achimelech et HaMelech Vayomar Umi bechol avadecha ke David ne'eman. Is there anyone more sincere, more praiseworthy than David? V'chatan HaMelech, he's the son-in-law. V'saro mishmatecha, of course he adheres to your what? Your discipline. V'nichbad b'veitecha, he's so worthy in your house. Okay? Gentlemen, after Doeg, who spoke belittling at David, calling the son of this and the son of that, and leading him to understand he's acting like a king, he's now putting his finger on Achimelech, like David, committing mutiny, going up against the king. Hayom, he continues in Pasuk Tedvav, Hachiloti lish'olo be'elokim chalilali. Meaning, do you think today I started asking God about matters? God forbid. Meaning, there have been many other matters, national matters, Okay? He's been a leader of Israel. He takes the nation out to war, he brings them back to war. And therefore, ever since he's been a national military leader, he's been to our place, and he's been what? Asking questions to God. But he says, Khalila. What is that? What does Khalila mean? God forbid, meaning that I'm what? That we're doing something of mutiny against the king? God forbid. Don't accuse me of any matter of mutiny b'chol beit avi, my father's house. I'm not aware of anything that's going on between you. Davar katon o gadol. I'm not aware whatsoever. Gentlemen, what is the reaction of the king? We call a martial court. Pasuk Tetzayin Vayomer Amelech. 3 words. Mot tamot Achimelech.
I have a question.
1 second, sir. Ata, but not only you. V'chol beit avicha. All your family members, your uncles, your cousins, your brothers, every one of you has to be killed. It really sounds threatening. It really sounds full of din, full of judgment, and it's terrible.
He's talking about killing the family.
He's talking about wiping out Achimelech for mutiny, for conspiracy against the king.
Well, he's including his brother.
Everyone in the family there. Let's continue. We're going to see Pasuk Yud Zayin, verse 17. Vayomer Hamelech laratzim. Okay, he has runners that would what? Run before his chariot out of honor, and we're told even that it could be Avner ben Ner and Amasat, 2 brothers who later become leaders in the military service of the Jewish people. He calls the Ratzim, Nitzavim Alav, that are standing here, Sovu, come here, come around, Vamitu, and kill Kohanei Hashem. Wow. Here and there, right in the place now, kill these Kohanim of God. Ki gam yadamim David, their hands are with David, meaning they're a conspiracy. V'chi yadu, and they knew ki voreachu. Now look at Shaul is interpreting. He's accusing the Kohen Gadol of conspiracy, that he knows about David going against me, and he didn't tell me, and he knew that David is escaping, and he didn't tell me. Ki vorechu velo galu et oznai, he didn't tell me. Velo avu avdei hamelech l'shloch et yadam lifkor b'kohanei Adonai. These guys have common sense. Dare they? They would never dare touch the Kohanim of God now in the Mishkan and kill them. In other words, they don't have the guts, but more than that, they don't have the morals, the ethics to pick up their hands and murder. What?
Yirat Shamayim.
They have Yirat Shamayim, that even though they think Shaul is the king, but he's giving orders which are immoral, unethical, and say we can't touch them. Wow. Who will be next? Vayomer HaMelech in verse 18. He's called here Doeg, right? We read him Doeg, but he's written Doeg. It's something. Rashi says Nishtana Shmo. His name was changed. Amarlo Nitpasta Kedagata. You, Doeg, were caught like a fish, like we catch fish. We catched you easily. Atahil shanta aleim. You spoke lashon hara against them. In other words, no, the king is saying, you're the one that spilled the beans, that this is the guy that conspired against me. Well, if you called the play, you should kill him. You're like a fish. You caught him, you kill him. Sovata, you go around ufga b'kohanim. What does he do? Vayisov, he turns around, doeg adomi, vayifgau b'kohanim. He starts attacking. Vayamet bayomahu shmonim v'chamisha ish nosei ephod bad. 85 kohanim are murdered, are killed this day. Each of them potentially could be the one wearing the ephod, namely, each one potentially can become the Kohen Gadol. Vet Nov ira Kohanim, the city of Nov, Hikala fi Cherev, wow. The same term is used against Amalek. Lefi cherev. It's as if he went up against the Jewish enemies. This is what he did, Doeg, against Kohanim. He slaughtered Me'ish v'adisha, men and women. Me'olel ve'ad yonek. Okay? Women that are suckling to their little ones, the yonek, the babies that are drinking their mother's milk. V'shor v'chamor v'selef. They wipe out everything. My dear friends, they're judging this city as if it's an ir nidachat. Have you come across the term ir nidachat, David?
City of idol worshippers.
What do you mean?
The city is guilty of idol worship.
What is the din of that city as we read about this in the book of
It's
Devarim?
burnt down.
We cannot benefit from any of the properties, the resources of the city, and ir nidachat. When you have a majority of a Jewish city performing idolatry, then the entire city, when we have times of keeping the laws of idolatry, has to be done away with. My dear friends, this is a terrible thing. I want to bring to you a source, if you wish.
I have a question.
1 second, Rabbi.
I'm not a rabbi.
Can I? You share with him. Gentlemen, when we want to answer this question number 3, is Doeg telling the truth? Are his words permitted or prohibited? Let's go to source bet. Midrash Tanchuma on the bottom. The Tanchuma Midrash on Parshat Mitzorah in the book of Vayikra. The Midrash says, V'im asak adam b'lashon hara. If a person occupies his life with speaking lashon hara, mitchayev b'nafsho, lamut. Wow. I thought speaking lashon hara is just an oral sin. Here the Midrash says he's deserving of like a death penalty. Why? Shekashe lashon hara kishvichu damim. If someone's dealing with lashon hara, it's equal or similar to murder. Shvichu damim. Why? Spilling blood is the expression. Shekol ha'oreg eino oreg el nefesh achat. If you kill a person, God forbid, you violate a crime of capital offense. God forbid you killed someone. You killed one person. But when you're telling lashon hara, you're doing more than that. Hamisaper lashon hara horeg shlosha. You're killing 3 people. Line 2. Who are the 3 that you're killing? Ha'omro, the one that's saying the lashon hara. Ve'hamikablo, the one that is accepting as truth. And number 3, va'ne'emar alav, and the one that it's said upon the lashon hara. What's your proof that lashon hara is so severe? Sheharei Doeg amar lashon hara l'Achimelech ben Achitov. Doeg spoke this lashon hara about Achitov v'neharag, and we know that Achimelech was killed. Shene'emar, the pasuk that we just read. Vayomer Amelech mot tamut Achimelech. And what about the one that accepted it? V'neharag Shaul. Where are we going to learn about the death of Shaul? At the end of Sefer Shmuel Aleph, when we have a war against the Plishtim atop of Mount Gilboa. Very good. And there we lose the war and Shaul dies. And so on and so forth. And later, we learn about Doeg, that he too has a big problem. To the extent, my dear friend, Doeg also will die later.
Killed by Shlomo.
Yes. Yes. Now, the Ramban,
Who will be killed by Shlomo?
we'll learn about that, yes.
Shlomo Amelech? I knew that.
He's ordered by his father. Look at the Ramban in Bereshit chapter 2. And he brings the following words of our sages. Ukfar Amru. Our sages already said, I think in Baba Batra, Shlosha Amru Emet. There are 3 that said the truth. Ve'avdu min ha'olam. But they were taken away from the world. What world? Even the world to come. Elohim, Nachash. Nachash was wiped out of the world. V'meraglim.
Nachash?
No. The serpent, Nachash, the serpent, the Meraglim, and Doeg Ha'adomi. From the town of Be'eroti. My dear friends, we see here the severity of Doeg Ha'adomi. Now, this tremendous thing happens. What's going on in David's heart? If we open up Tehillim, which is on the bottom of the page, here on the bottom of this page, Tehillim chapter Nun Bet 52. If you want to, you can open up in your Tanakh. Let's see what David writes about his impression of Doeg that was standing there in the Mishkan. And he doesn't know, will he do damage or not? Look, open to Tehillim Nun Bet. Pasuk Bet. Lamnatzeach maskil David. I'm reading the opening verse. Maskil could mean to bring success, but it can also bring musar. He's writing for ethical reasons. This chapter about Doeg. You see it? No, you're in Nun Gimel. I'm in Nun Bet. Nun Bet, the one before, chapter 52 in Psalms. Bevod Doeg Adomi. When Doeg Adomi came, where did he come to? After he was in the Mishkan and he went to tell Shaul about me. Vayaged Shaul vayomer lo ba David el Beit Achimelech. You asked the question yesterday, how do we know that a chapter of Psalms is referring to this event in Shmuel? Here we see clearly. When Doeg went to Shaul and told that David came to the house of Achimelech, Mati talel bera'a gibor chesed el kol hayom. Someone who is dealing with bad things, okay? Mati talel bera'a gibor. You Doeg. Now, gentlemen, Doeg was known to be the head of the Beit Din. He was an Av Beit Din. He was a gibor in Torah. Okay? 1 second, sir. He was a gibor in Torah. How can you praise yourself because of the terrible things that you did? Pasuk Daled. Havot tachshov leshonecha. Your tongue revealed what's really in your heart. Kita'ar milutash. Your tongue is like a sharpened blade. Oser remiyah. You're doing deception. Wow. When David heard about this atrocity, this murder in the city of Nov, he writes this. He's so hurt. He feels terrible. And he's talking what the truth is, Musar, about this guy Doeg. So what if he's big in Torah? If he has terrible midot, what is his Torah worth? If he's looking to cause trouble, what is it worth? Pasuk 5 of Psalms. Ahavta ra mitov. You loved evil more than you loved good. Sheker midaber tzedek sela. Okay? The love that you have to speak falsely, you have more love to speak falsely than you have to speak the truth. Pasuk Vav, one more verse to understand what's going on here. Ahavta kol divrei vala lashon mirma. You loved to speak lashon hara. Bala is lashon hara. And speaking deception. Wow. Yes. Divrei Bella is the words of lashon hara. My dear friends, we see David teaching from a distance now. He's far away. He hears the terrible atrocity because of the lashon hara. David didn't even share that he is escaping from who? From he kept him away, apolitical. It didn't involve him in this matter whatsoever. Yet here we see the tongue, the sharp tongue, and this causes an atrocity. A city of Kohanim, men, women, and children, their animals, their resources. Only one person escapes. Pasuk 20. With this, we'll end today's shiur. When the firing squad was there, this guy was fast. Vayimaleit ben echad. One son is able to escape. Lachimelech ben Achituv. Ushmo Evyatar. Later, he will become a Kohen Gadol during David's time. Vayivrach acharei David. Where does he escape to? One son is saved. 85 are killed. 85 Kohanim. What atrocity.
And their families, or no?
Yes, their family. We're not even told about the women and children. So here, a terrible atrocity. This is what happens to a person who's so great in Torah, but something elementary of midot. Real Yirat Shamayim. Real modesty. Real humility. Okay? It's like King David says in Psalms, it's like putting a nose ring, a beautiful gold ring on the nose of a pig. If we do, first derech eretz, first midot comes before Torah. We'll continue with this tomorrow.